Hey guys, and welcome to BoatMax Online. Today what we're going to be doing, we're going to be showing you how to rig a Suzuki Outboard remote control. Today we got a 20 horsepower Suzuki. It's going to be the same procedure for the 25 and the 30, also the 9.9. So what we'll do, we'll start by removing the bolts that hold the side cover after we remove the collar. Now that this has been removed, what we'll do, we'll remove the wood, the rubber seal. We'll see these laying around here. On the 30, you're gonna have a pin, another bolt to remove to get access to this properly, but not on this one. It's gonna go in and then out. We also have these two, the throttle and the shifter. What we'll do, we'll remove the pins and put them on the side. Remove the pin and the washer, put it to the side. And put it on the side. All right, next step we'll do is grab the Suzuki control shift and throttle cable. We're gonna need 2 per engine. One for the forward, neutral, and reverse shifting, and one for the throttle. So how we're gonna open these is just remove the cardboard out of it, open it up, and it's gonna uncoil real quick. So here we're gonna have an example of one of them. Right, they got a little nut right here, and there's a thread. You're gonna wanna go through, and in the box which your motor came in, you're gonna have another plastic bag with an owner's manual and some hardware. You're gonna want to take the hardware bag, open it up, and remove these 2 black pins from it. All right. Once you have access to these, you're gonna put one on each of your throttle and shift cables. What we'll do is pass the far one in, like so. Right here, right there. All right, now that you installed your shift and throttle cable in the metal bracket, you might notice that doesn't line up. So what you're gonna wanna do is grab the other end of your shift cable and adjust it manually. You want it to be about 50-50 because it comes as on the neutral shift already. And then you just slide the black little plastic pin inside the thing. And you're gonna place your washer and your metal pin back. All right. Now you're gonna wanna grab the other throttle cable and you're wanting to repeat the same process. So, in here, and in there, put it in here. As you can see, this one's also not adjusted. So we'll grab it and make it about a half. It's about right here. So put it right here. As you can see, that's how we're going to be doing the shifting. So that looks right here. I want to put the washer and the metal pin back in. So the next step, now that we set up the shift throttle cable, we're gonna wanna grab our main wiring harness that comes to the motor, grab the gray end. This gray end is gonna be at the end of the black part of the harness. So all you're gonna have to do is remove this from its holder, push it in, make sure you wanna hear that click, make sure it's fully engaged in there, and push it back in so it's nicely and secured. Now, for the last step on the engine part, we're gonna have to re-add the rubber grommet and the side collar. So this step is usually the most annoying one because you gotta make sure everything is gonna fit well in here. So this is gonna be the main wiring harness. You're gonna have the trim and shift, trim and tilt. You're gonna have the electric connection and both control cables. So I'm gonna pass them in. Make sure they're nicely in there first. All right. Don't worry about pushing it a little bit. It is rubber, and putting WD-40 will help the lubrication. The most important part is that all the rubber grommet goes back in the groove of the side cowling. There we go. We got it about right here. So now this low groove is back with the groove in the side cowling. So that will create a watertight seal. So now what we're gonna wanna do, we're gonna wanna place this back on. Make sure the groove over here matches the groove with the rubber grommet to keep it watertight. Make sure everything line up. Also make sure nothing is squeezed in here. Right here, everything's fitting. Now what we'll do, we'll just take a screwdriver again and retighten these. Once this is done, we're gonna want to put back the rubber lining around the side cowling. Make sure that's nicely in the groove to not allow water to leak. We're gonna place this back. And that's all we're gonna have to do. Is also make sure you put this back in. Keeps it nice and organized. All right, so now what we're gonna be doing, we're gonna be setting up the remote throttle. So I need you to grab the brown box that looks like this in your engine kit. Open it up. You're gonna find the remote throttle, a booklet, and some hardware. Take out the hardware and the remote throttle. So here, we're going to be removing the throttle from here and using this as a mat on our work area so that the nice throttle does not get scratched up while we work on it. So first things first, we're going to want to open it up to get access to where we're going to put the throttle and shifter cable. There's going to be 2 screws. Now after this, all you're going to have to do is pretty much pop this open, there's a little clip, and you're going to have access inside. This is already greased, but it is recommended to add a little bit more grease. So right, now what we're going to do, we're going to grab the hardware kit that comes with it. We're going to grab a hold of these parts. So right, we're going to have a rubber grommet, 2 black pins, and the actual things to secure it. So first things first, what we're going to grab each of our control cables and add these to it. The throttle controls for your shifting, which is going to be the one on the inside of the motor. You're going to want to put it through right here. Tighten it up or set it up however you need it. There, that, right here, there. And now you're going to put the metal clips in here. You're going to want to grab your other. This is going to be for the throttle control. You're going to want to put the rubber grommet in between both of them. Put this one back down. And adjust it as needed. There we go. That's good. Put in there, in there. Now we're gonna want to put the clip in here. Shifting done. Shift properly. Make sure it's good. If it needs to get loosened, you can loosen it up from here. But make sure it shifts properly and how you want it to shift. We'll make sure later on the engine, that's okay. So now we're gonna have to actually set up the ignition switch and the trim and tilt. What we'll do, we'll go and grab the wire harness again. This orange wire, there's gonna be this white, looks like an 8-pin, and this little blue one. My bad, you're gonna wanna grab the black one. So for the black one, what you'll do, you'll pull it up, and I'm just gonna use pliers to pull it out. It makes it the easiest way to pull it out accordingly. So you'll start by connecting it. Make sure you hear the click. Same thing with this, white on white. Hear the click. And that got your ignition and your trim set up. So that's all you gotta do. Now you put it to the side, get the rest of your hardware, and you would just have to attach it on your right side. And in here you're gonna have space, you're gonna have all you'll need to install the rest. And now we'll go and make sure that everything is set up correctly on the outboard. All right, so now just to show you a little example of how this works once it's all set up correctly, I'm gonna go and shift it in forward. As you can see, the back one moved. You want the back one to be moving because that's a shifter. And as you accelerate, you put throttle, and it's gonna be pushing on the forward one, this one. And that's what we want. We're gonna test out the reverse, same thing. Now it's in reverse. And now we accelerate. Boom, there you go. That's how it works. That works well. Now we're gonna be testing out the idle accelerator. So just making sure, that's all we need. It's just to get accelerated from this little lever. So you can see everything works. And all we have to do, so back to the side collar, put the oil in, check the lower unit, crank it up, and we're fun. Last, now we're gonna install the steering. So we're gonna take the drag wing that came in with the boat, and we have all the hardware right here for us to use. So what we'll take one washer, put it through here, take another washer, put it down, take the nut, tighten it up. That's all in this bit that you need to do. Now you're gonna want to take this whole piece, put it through, take your bolt and one more washer, put this through. This is just gonna screw in to your engine. So it's gonna be a 9/16. Take it. You don't have to put it too tight. Just make sure it's tight on. It's nicely fitted on there. Same thing as this side. I'll go back and tighten it later. But what I'll do, I'll make sure that it's turning. So what we're gonna do, turns properly, exactly where we want it, so we know we can finish installing it.